everyone. Welcome. What's going on? It's Monday night. Welcome to another live stream. How's everyone doing? It's been an absolute whirlwind of inquiries. We're landing roof cleans left, right and centre. New techniques coming. Crashed my drone. I've got new equipment on the way. Should we talk about roof cleaning, or do you want to talk about something else? I'm easy. I don't mind what. I'm totally unprepared. I've got nothing ready for you, but I'm here to answer any questions. Does anyone want a lead in Essex to repoint a patio? There's a lady that wants her patio repointing. It's not really big enough for us to travel. I've checked the members map on our Discord. There's no one really nearby, unfortunately. So if you go into our Discord here, anyone who's part of the Discord, and you go to the top here, we've got a members map. And if you open it, you can add yourself to the members map, so we can see where everyone's businesses are. So we can, pass over leads, and we can pull in help from people in our area to collaborate on projects and stuff. The job is around about here. Around about here in Essex. Upminster. This chap, AKS Services, he's done a good job, Paul. He's put his mobile number there, and then it takes you to his Google page, so that's good. Some people have failed to put their contact information on, so it's hard to actually pass over leads, which isn't ideal. But this chap doesn't do repointing, unfortunately, so I can't really give it him. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to be able to give it him. Welcome everyone. Luke, what's up? Tintins, welcome. Matt, hi from the USA, welcome. UK Reef Bro, how's it going? Fresh rinse. Well, I've binged watched all of your stuff, started my own business. The only request I have is please make longer videos. I can't get enough of them. That's very kind of you, isn't it? Do you know what? I would like to make longer videos, and even when I feel like I'm making like a decently long video, I think people are going to like this, I check and it's only like 15 minutes long, like the one I put out tonight. And I think it's because I'm quite like brutal with the cuts. I don't want to leave a clip going for like too long. Some people they'll stick a time lapse on and it'll be the same frame for like 5 minutes of the video, and I can't do it. It's just boring to me. So I'll shorten that to like 15 seconds, and I'll try and cut to like different angles and stuff. I can't leave you sat there on one frame for too long, because I don't know. I'm sure like other people don't see that as an issue, but I just think people are going to get bored. Maybe that's just a me thing, I don't know. But thanks for the kind words, I do appreciate it. Let's talk about the Moja you're sending me, Luke. Luke, buy yourself a Moja, man. I have cleared with Moja that as part of this year's contract, I'd like to give away some units. So don't lose hope, is all I'll say. I'd love to be able to give you one. I think we're going to give away 2 units this year, which is better than nothing. Evening, Darren, welcome. Kerno Power Cleaning, welcome. Anthony, welcome. I'm just waiting for my new phone delivery. Oh, it's always a nice time to get a new, like, getting a new phone or getting like a new little bit of tech is nice. I've got myself a new drone and a new camera recently, and it's been like I've been putting it off for so many years. I've been thinking, no, I don't really need a drone. I'm not going to make that much use of it. It'll be like exciting for a week, and then I probably won't bother using it again. I thought, it's probably about time I got a proper camera rather than just using my phone all the time. So I would like to make some more sort of cinematic pieces and stuff, but oh, that is a risk. That is a huge risk.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Take it from her. She wanted to put it on a plate for you.
That was very risky. Is that an Aldi Bueno? Have you tried it yet?
Yeah.
Are they good?
Yeah.
Hazelnut. Thank you for the coffee. Did you make this?
No.
Smells good. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. I don't think I need the plate.
Keep it.
Oh, okay.
For crummies.
For crumbs. That's a good idea. I'll pop that there. I might eat that in a bit. Thank you so much.
Naughty.
Why am I naughty?
You need to keep that plate.
Can I take a night?
Good night.
Good night.
I love you. In the morning. Can you think of stuff we can do tomorrow? It's half term, isn't it?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. We'll definitely do some pancakes. What else?
Chocolate pancakes.
Okay, just everything pancake related.
No,
Because I think it's actually going to be the sun's going to be out again.
go for a walk
Which is-
with some pancakes in our backpack.
We've had apparently everyone keeps spouting the same thing, but apparently, like Saturday was the first dry day the UK has seen in a whole year. In this whole year, in like 40 days, 40 consecutive.
Dry on Saturday?
I think it was, wasn't it? 40 consecutive days.
And today.
We've got like 3 resanding jobs outstanding. I've been waiting to get back to a roof scrape, but
If it's okay with Daddy.
it's a roof scrape that we're actually like climbing on. So
Can I keep these? Because Lucas from there.
they're for my microphones. They're little fluffers for my microphones to stop the wind making that horrible blowing noise on my mics. And these ones got wet the other day because I was out in the pouring rain. But they clip onto these. Look, so these little mini microphones. You can attach these with a magnet. So you put the magnet on the inside of your t-shirt, look, and then look, and those little fluffers. Do you remember what these are called? Dead cats.
Can I connect one to me?
So that clips on there, look. See?
Yeah.
And that stops the wind blowing over the top of it. They're quite difficult to get on.
How can I clip one to me?
So you need to use the magnet. That bit there goes in, and then you go.
Keep it.
What was I saying? Yeah, we've been waiting to get back to a roof scrape that we started it like 2 weeks ago, and it's been causing me quite a lot of anxiety just even thinking about it. But I think we're going to get back on Wednesday because this week is supposed to be a little bit drier than it has been. So fingers crossed.
Cat all over bumps.
Uh,
To Daddy.
Actually,
Hello Daz, welcome. Struggled at the start with getting work, but it's definitely started to pick up. I'm only 3 months in, but going in the right direction. Yeah, also James, you got to remember, 3 months in, no one knows you exist yet, mate.
Give it back.
No one knows. You've got to do everything possible to put yourself in front of people. And and this is why I love social media so much, is because if you consider this as like a similar amount of effort that it would take for you to, thank you, thanks. The amount of effort it takes to sort of design a leaflet and go around and post them or knock on people's doors and stuff, whereas you can get like record a video or get some before and after pictures and potentially reach thousands of people on social media. I think it's so powerful. I was always scared about posting too much and people getting annoyed about the content. But then someone said, like, people might miss that first post and the second post and the third post, but on the fourth they finally spot you, or on the fourth they actually remember to get in touch with you. They think, oh, I've been meaning to get in touch with this guy, I keep seeing his stuff but I keep forgetting. Like, you've just got to get yourself in front of people, and it doesn't happen overnight. I saw a massive difference in year 2 compared to year 1 with regards to how many people were getting in touch, like at the beginning of the season, like mid-season stuff. I couldn't believe how busy I was on my second year. First year was very slow, mainly friends and family, word of mouth stuff, and then second year is where it really started to snowball, because everyone from that first year was recommending me to their friends and neighbours and whatever. Mills, welcome. How you're doing the actual physical work plus producing content to a very high standard is beyond me. The work alone kills me at times. Oh, James, thank you. I'm doing my best. I am definitely very busy, but I'm doing my best. Evening, Clive, welcome. Exterior Essentials is in the building. If anyone missed our episode last week with Exterior Essentials, we got off to a little bit of a rough start with the audio, but we nailed it after about 15-20 minutes, I reckon. And you can find that episode here, streamed 6 days ago, under the live tab, and you can watch my episode with Exterior Essentials. Very, very insightful episode, so I thoroughly recommend that you watch that if you haven't already. If you're not already a part of the Discord, I would thoroughly recommend this as a great place for beginners, or even if you've got a little bit of experience and you just need like a little community to sort of bounce some ideas off of. Everyone in here is so friendly. This chap was on a job today and he was asking, I've put tram lines onto this concrete, will hypo clear it? And you know, within a couple of minutes, it's cool because in a couple of minutes I can get back to him and say, where was it? Yeah, hypo will clear it. I usually pre-treat and post these type of slabs, and then so that gave him the confidence to put the hypo down, I suppose, and it came up like brand new. It's brilliant. These aren't black spots, by the way. These are pits, or it looks like pebbles in the concrete potentially. Great job. And then if you need help sort of like identifying different surfaces, we can help you out with that as well. We've been talking about roof cleaning quite a lot recently, and I was sharing some of my quotes with people. So this was one last week's episode. Jay from Exterior Essentials mentioned that he's been landing far more roof cleaning quotes since he's been doing the drone survey beforehand. So he's been sending the drone up, showing the customer, inspecting the roof for his peace of mind as well, and just taking some good before and after pictures, some good like before pictures, and checking the pointing and all that sort of stuff. And so I thought, I hadn't considered using that as a way to like impress the customer beforehand, but I thought I'd try it on this next quote that I had. And the chap wasn't even set on having his roof cleaned. He had his gutters cleaned out recently, and he said they still seem to be blocked. So I said, right, well, I'll check it. So why don't I just send the drone up and we can check the gutters? And we found the gutters hadn't been cleared out very well at all. The guy admitted, to be fair, that he couldn't really access the gutters very well because they were quite tight. I thought they were fine, to be honest, but let me see if I can show you. If I send some of these pictures to the Discord, I can actually show you. But I thought, yeah, I'll send the drone up and see if I can knock the socks off our customer, and sort of impress them with these before and after pictures. And it worked. I sent the price over, landed the quote, landed the job, quoted it quite high because of the access. We're going to need a cherry picker, and it's quite a specific type of tile. It's one of those man-made slate tiles. But you'll be able to see from the photos that the gutters weren't cleared out very well. So we've gone from talking about like a gutter clear to saying, well, actually the roof, I'm thinking about getting the roof cleaned potentially as well. And so I've sent in one of my videos on cleaning man-made slate, which I think is quite a good like educational video for the customer. And then sent in the price, and he just like instantly said yes. So this is the property. So you can see it's that those thin man-made slate tiles, very mossy. But if we look through the pickies, you can see that gutter has still got some stuff in it. And they're not, I wouldn't even say they were that tight, to be honest. That gutter's still got some stuff in it. You could argue, I mean, it was done 2 weeks ago. You could argue that some of the stuff's dropped down off the roof, but I don't think so, personally. This is 3 stories up as well. And then these as well. Look, that's, I mean, it's not been done very well at all, really, has it? You can see your boy down there. And then at the front, so just checking the condition of the flashing around the chimney as well, just to make sure that we haven't got any, you know, if we did decide to pressure wash this, just making sure that we haven't got any glaring issues. It all looks okay. And then the front, you can see this downpipe has got a plant growing out of it. So this was, again, these were supposed to have been cleared out 2 weeks ago. But that downpipe is totally blocked, and all the water's just pouring down the outside and straight down onto the roof. So, but this is the sort of stuff that I could offer real world free value to the customer as I'm quoting the job. I haven't even asked for any money yet, and he's already got value from just the quote, because he's now seen aerial pictures of the property. He can see the condition of the roof, and he can see that his gutters haven't been like cleared out that well. And I think that's like 100%. I think that's what's contributed to me landing the job, which is very cool. I might as well just show you what I've quoted as well, because I've showed everyone else in the Discord, so you'll be able to see. I can't remember where I put it. I can't remember. Oh, it'd be in roof cleaning, wouldn't it? There's the quote that I've sent in, which I think is reasonable for a roof of that size. He's opted for the scrape, which I think is wise. I am still going to do, I think I'm still going to go around beforehand and just do a small pressure wash section of the roof, because I want to know, once that algae's cleared, I want to know whether the tiles are like white underneath. Looking at them, I think they're okay, but I want to confirm with the pressure washing test patch, so I'll probably do a test patch under here maybe, or I might get up on this flat roof and just do a test patch under here, just so I can see, once the biocide has worked, I want to see, you know, what's under that algae. Because if the tiles are white under all that algae, then I'm probably not going to treat it, and I'll probably give the customer quite a significant discount for not treating it. So we'll see. Don't excite me like that. Van Ventures, welcome. Architect, welcome. Onyx is in the building. Hi, Simon. So what's the subject tonight? I thought we could talk about roof cleaning, but we don't have to. You feel free to just fire questions at me, because I'm here. I will do my best to answer them. I can't say I'll be able to answer all of your questions, but I'll certainly give it a go. You know what I mean? Certainly give it a try. Getting some new spoons to scrape the roof. You know what? I thought that would make a really good video. I'm considering like trying that as a video, trying to find like a small roof, and for this particular roof, I've just ordered some new nylon scraper blades. By the way, I forgot to mention, if you did want to join the Discord, click on my YouTube channel and click on this memberships link here, and it's under all the videos as well. So if you ever end up watching one of my videos, the join button is just down below under the video. Where's these scraper blades? Gutter vacuum systems. We've also got some discount codes below, so you'll see these little pop-ups here. That one's for Clean Link. I've also got one for Gutter Vacuum Systems, and I've got one for Smart Seal as well. So if you ever do order from those guys, make sure you use the discount codes. Nylon scraper blade. Additional scraper blade. They're only 15 quid, which I thought was quite good. So I've got the 300mm flat nylon, which are these ones. I've just got 2 more of these because the edges do round off a little bit, and I quite like a sharp edge so I can get it right under the lip of the tile. I'm hot. Is anyone else hot? Has anyone seen my new video? What do you think? I've took a slightly different direction with the videos. Well, this is the first attempt at trying something a little bit different, and I'm just wondering if it's a step in a good direction, or wondering whether you prefer the old sort of vloggy style. Alex, welcome. How you doing, mate? What size is the roof? I can't remember. Can't remember. Hello, Chad. You right, mate? What's your favourite type of bath towel? The freshly washed, dry, crispy ones. The ones that scratch your skin to dry it. I'm not so keen on the soft, like, microfibery. Oh, it makes my teeth go furry. How long do you expect the roof to take? We'll probably get that done in a day, I reckon. Get it scraped, gutters cleared, and biocided in a day with a cherry picker. So that's obviously including the cherry picker hire, and it's quite some awkward angles. I'm hoping I've sent a picture to Dormer to see whether this is the higher place that we get our cherry picker from, to see whether they think we'll get the cherry picker in quite a specific place, and I'm not sure we'll quite get there. So it's here. So I'm gonna, what's happened? I'm gonna park the cherry picker there. Probably scooch it over slightly, like as close to these slabs as I can get it. And then I want to get up over this aerial, or next to the aerial. I want to try and get the basket around about there, just so I can get onto this side of the roof quite easily. I'm not sure it's going to go that high. It's a HR12, so it's 12 meters high, but it only goes out 6 meters, and I think 6 meters gets me like the middle of this roof here. So I'm not sure it's going to be quite big enough, but we'll give it a go. But like, luckily on this property, there's really good access down the side here. That is very rare. You don't often get that. So I'm going to use it to my advantage, and we're going to go all out cherry picker. Would use sporks personally? Yeah, we could. I think we do give it a go. Craig, would you like to join us on one? The rage bait would be amazing. Craig, if I find a good roof to clean, obviously you'll be paid, you and Steve. Do you want to come and try and clean it with spoons with me? Would you travel down to Redditch to scrape a roof with spoons? We'd have to do some research and find the most hard wearing spoons you can buy. Do they do oh, what's that steel? Tungsten carbide. Do they do let me see if they do tungsten carbide spoons. Why does it come up with that? Why does it come up with a fishing jig? I want a spoon. Metal cutting burrs. I don't think anyone's made a spoon out of tungsten carbide. I think you'll get the full roof. James, we've got the full roof, mate. I forgot to, the announcement time. We landed the roof. So for anyone who's not watched the video, you probably won't understand the reference, but we did this small roof section for this customer to see if he wanted to go ahead with the rest of the roof. He was saying, let's do the lower bit and see how it turns out. And if I like the look of the tiles, I'll get you to clean the rest of the roof, or I'll just have it replaced. Which I think is wild to consider replacing a whole roof, like a perfectly good roof. Let's not beat around the bush, because I suppose he wants a certain look, and that's fine. But like, I'm glad he's opted to clean it instead. So we've landed the quote, landed the job. Just going to figure out how to do it now, because Mr. Pep's welcome. I've just ordered some bits from Amazon. I'm considering the cherry picker will get us. The cherry picker will do the front. It'll do the front, no issue. However, let me show you my issue. So this is what we've cleaned. Now my issue is that front. I've got no issue doing that with a cherry picker, or even a scaffold tower would be absolutely fine. That side's a bit of a nuisance because the tree's in the way, but not impossible. This side of the roof, again, could potentially build a tower down the side there. It'd be quite awkward getting around the chimney and stuff, but not impossible. Or we go on the neighbour's drive, and I think we should be able to stretch it. Because that bush is quite tight there. But we could go on the neighbour's drive as well and get the cherry picker over the top and get that side of the roof, no issue. The real pain is this bit here. I was considering building a small tower on this flat roof here, because the angle's it's just very awkward. It's a very long stretch. So from here to here is 33 feet. And my power pole is only 35 feet. And so that is going to be probably one of the longest stretches. It doesn't look very long from here, but that would be one of the longest stretches I've done. And that's not to mention this bit on the corner here. I'd have to move the tower, build it up here, and then that would make, even though this bit is nice and close, it would be nice and close to the tower. It's at such an awkward angle to effectively clean, and at that point you're going over to the neighbour's drive, to the neighbour's back garden. Again, we could like build a tower. We could build a tower on this side and try and hit it from that side, and then you've got the other awkward angle of this. So regardless, we're going to have to go over to the neighbour's side here. Probably try and take this lower fence panel out, so we've got clear access through here maybe. That sounds like a good plan. But this little sloping roof in the middle kind of complicates things for the back. So my plan is, I'm considering roping around the chimney and sending that over the front, and using, I've just ordered some new descenders using these. This is like a rope grab, so similar to what I've already got, but this one's a bit safer, because the one I've got at the minute is it's an ascender, not a descender. Every time it's quite difficult to loosen to allow you to descend. And it feels like sometimes if you pull it too far out, there's a chance the rope can actually come out of the thing. And so with this, it's impossible to do that because the carabiner goes through this locking mechanism, and this it's just got a little lever there, so you push the lever and that will allow you to descend down the rope. Great full protection. In combination with our harness that we've got, this will be like a really great solution. So I'm considering wrapping around that chimney and passing it down the front, do the front, and then on the back, just going off of the bars on the van roof, and then passing that over the back to do that whole back section, because then we can quite easily do these bits without too much of a stretch. The pitch isn't terrible. Like on a dry day, this pitch is going to be absolutely very workable. It will mean, you know, on this chimney going over in this direction as well, that'll be absolutely fine. No issues there. And then I can also, from that chimney, come down the side here if we wanted to do that. If we wanted to do that while walking on the roof, that would be very simple as well. So I'm just thinking the rope and harness might be an easier system on here, and two of us can keep busy as well. We don't have to have one with the power pole and the flat surface cleaner, then one on the cherry picker trying to hang out the basket and do it from the cherry picker. Like, I think that's going to be the best solution, but you guys will probably tell me I'm mad. I think it's ideal. But we've got the roof anyway. He's gone ahead with it because he was very impressed. Grind the edges when they round off. Yeah, I did do that with one of our brushes. When the brushes started to sort of fry on the edges, I've cut them a bit lower, and it's good, it's fine, but we don't use the brushes very often, to be honest. I like the drone angles. Thanks, Tintins. Thank you. Ish, welcome. Seen the video. It's a good video, just very confusing why you use a turbo over a flat surface cleaner on the flat tile. So I'll tell you exactly why. So the first reason is because I wanted to show Kieran on a relatively low roof with very little to go wrong. I wanted to show Kieran how to use the turbo nozzle. And I think we succeeded in that. I think he had a bit of a wobbly start and it was sort of a little bit all over the place, but after 15-20 minutes he sort of got the technique, and that's exactly what I was trying to achieve. Very low risk environment, and it was just like an ideal place to learn that sort of thing. I think with a flat surface cleaner you can pretty much learn that on most roofs without the risk of too much going wrong. The other reason for it is, I suppose, less of an issue for most people, but it would have meant for us to be able to do this side here. You know, a flat surface cleaner is quite awkward at an angle. So in front of you, about 45 degrees like that, that's all fine. As soon as you start to stretch any further than that, it becomes very awkward because you're trying to sort of press it against the roof and hold it up with your, what are these called? Like behind your ribs. Are they called traps? I think they might be called traps. But you'll feel yourself sort of twisting to try and push it up and keep it where you want it, because it naturally wants to sort of fall back down the roof when you're at such an extreme angle. I'm overthinking it here because it's such a low, small section of roof. It would have been perfectly fine, but this bit only would have been a little bit awkward, because it would have meant we'd have had to be right in that flower bed there. Would have had to be like, and then the wall would have been a little bit in the way, and it's just a little bit awkward. And basically I just wanted to show Kieran the turbo nozzle, that's all. Can you not stand on there with a flat surface cleaner? You'll get that at full stretch, just stand on the roof. You'll get it at full stretch just stand on the roof. You mean this lower roof here? It's deceiving because this gutter line looks really close to this roof here. It looks really low, but it's actually like around about head height. From this angle, it looks like it's a lot lower than it is. And this roof, this little rubber roof here, is incredibly slippy as well. I don't think... I certainly could stand there, but I think my arms would be up here. I think it would just be incredibly uncomfortable. Possible, but incredibly uncomfortable. And that still doesn't... It still doesn't... This section here is still an issue. I'd still have to build a tower over here. So as it stands, we'd potentially have a cherry picker on the front, moving onto the neighbour's drive and just generally moving around the front. And then we'd have a tower here, and potentially... I don't know, it seems like too much when the rope and harness and sort of walking the roof nice and safe seems like a much better option to me. It seems like we'd do a better job because we're there on the roof, much closer. I did it for the first time the other day on a profiled tile in Tipton with Rich. It was 2-story roof, rope and harness, tied around a tree. Felt very secure, and we did an extremely thorough job. No cracked tiles, very confident, and I think it could be the way forward for us. On a roof with this sort of pitch, anything steeper than this, and I probably wouldn't really want to. I wouldn't really want to risk it. I don't want to rely on hanging on that rope, even though it would be incredibly secure and very safe. I don't want to rely on hanging on that rope while I'm cleaning. I want to still be able to stand on the roof without fear of slipping. You know what I mean? I'm also looking into eye bolts. They're called these sorts of things. So I'm looking into these as well, just to have in the bag as an option in case like that chimney is okay as, you know, to wrap the rope around that chimney is an okay option. It's not ideal, but it's okay. The van is certainly safer with the bars on the roof of the van is definitely safer for me. We've also got no ridge protection to stop the rope rubbing on the ridge, but I'm not so concerned about that with new ropes and stuff. But looking at carrying some of these around in the van just in case we do have to drill into the customer's wall and install one of these, just so we can tie off onto these, just so we've got somewhere to hook the rope onto and then send over. I think it's good just to keep your options open. I've got myself a new bag as well, a new where's my orders? I've got myself another rope, so another one of these, and then I've got myself just a bag to keep everything in, because at the minute I'm carrying everything around in like an Aldi bag and it looks very unprofessional. So I've gone for one of these just to keep our 2 sets of ropes, our helmets, and our harnesses inside. This one's quite good because you can carry it as a backpack as well, which is handy. So yeah, and obviously it's all orange because why not? But we're just exploring different options. I want to try and do this roof cleaning as safe as physically possible, and where there's access issues, I don't want to be in a position where I have to take risks. And I also don't, if I'm ever going to look at sort of stepping back and allowing the boys to crack on without me there, I want them to be, I want to know that they're not having to put the tower up in an awkward position. I want to know that they're not going to be uncomfortable all day with really difficult reaches and stretches. And the last thing you want on a roof clean, when it's already an incredibly difficult job, is for your life to be made harder by like awkward access. And it's at those points where I think people will take the most risk because they just want to get the job done. You know those points where you think, oh, there's got to be an easy way to do this. I'm just going to do it like this. And then you end up doing something silly. Or or breaking something, or like I want to limit those possibilities as much as physically possible. And if this is the way to do it safely, and if we get a good method of setting these ropes up and getting them over the ridge nice and safe, and before we're even on the roof, before we're even on the roof, if we're already attached to the rope with our harnesses on, we're sort of limiting the risk as much as possible. As long as there's somewhere to tie onto, and if there's not, we can install something with the customer's permission. I think we're good. I think that's the way to do it. And if there's a roof that's just too steep and the access is just too poor, then maybe we just pass it on to someone else and just don't get involved with it, because that would make me sleep easier at night. You know what I mean? What length of poles would you use for the gutter vac? I think I got all of them. I got 40, but I think you could quite easily get away with like 30-ish for like most domestic work. I mainly use, on most residential work, 90% of the time, we're using 4 aluminium poles, and I think they're 1.2 meters potentially. So I use 4 of those. And then the maximum we generally use is like 6. And that's the other like 10% of jobs. Anything over 6, we might even just see if we can get, like, anything over 6, it's going to be easily 3-story. And it might even warrant just getting like a cherry picker in for, I think at certain heights, with certain types of gutters, you will struggle to do a good job. Your cameras are probably going to disconnect. So even if you've got a camera on top of your pole, it's probably not going, 40 feet up, which is what your poles can do. 10 poles, I think it's 40 feet. And at that point, your camera's just going to disconnect because it's outside of the Bluetooth range or the Wi-Fi range or whatever it is. And I don't think you've got any good way, unless you're getting up there with a ladder, of checking your work. And so I think at that point, it might just be wise to get a cherry picker. I'm going to look potentially at a tender on behalf of another tree surgery business in Redditch. There's quite a lot of work on this list. There's gutter clearing on a big commercial property and massive car park to clean, like massive block paved, filthy, leafy, mossy car park and stuff. So I'm going to get out there with the drone. I suppose you could use a drone to check your work, but we're going to get out there with the drone and just pre-check it before we put any sort of prices in. I want to know what we're getting involved with, because the last thing you want to do is quote the job at your standard rate. I think it's 4 stories, and all gutters are different, especially commercial jobs. You generally find they can range from normal residential type gutters all the way up to box gutters, or even just gullies that are running down the length of the building, or sometimes they've got clips in every couple of feet, which makes running your vacuum through an absolute nightmare. So sometimes in residential gutters, you'll put your nozzle in, and the nozzle is as wide as the gutter, which is perfect. But in some of these commercial gutters, your nozzle is 1/5 the width of the gutter, and so you're not only having to go back and forth, but you're having to go front and back as well. And I don't think there's any way you're doing that from the ground, really. I don't think there's any way you're doing it well from the ground. And if you are doing it from the ground, you're an absolute beast. Brilliant new video. They've always looked good, but this was a step up. I think the video quality, the music, the editing was top draw. Love the synth music too, all whilst still teaching us. Oh, Tom, thank you, mate. That's very kind. I'm glad people have noticed a little step up in quality, because I've been really making an effort with these, with the drone and new camera, and just a new shooting style with some of the new settings on the camera and stuff. I like the new editing, and the new drone footage was great. Maybe do a mix of the old style vlog ones and more detailed info videos. Yes. Noted. I still intend to do the vlog sections and stuff, because I think that's where you can connect with your audience a bit better, rather than making it too much like an advert. Use the dry crispy towel on any furry teeth. Little secret tip. Just watched the recent video. Enjoyed the little drone edit following the van. Nice bit of cinema. Very informative as usual. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Right. We'll have it done before you've unpacked the wire brushes with the with the flat roof. I'm going to take my shoes off. I don't know why I got my shoes on in the house. Make your own tool. We could make our own tool. Yeah, the Panther's definitely, for me, it's definitely like a go-to residential vacuum if you need something to do residential work and very light commercial work as well. I don't know if you'd want to stand on that roof with the flat surface cleaner. Like a big one, like one that you'd use on the ground, or with a little one. A Spider 20.95 would get you over the roof. They're only 800mm wide. Yeah, I could definitely hire a bigger cherry picker to get us up and over the roof, but also you'd still be cleaning from above down to get the backside of the roof, and I've tried that before and I hate it. It's extremely awkward. Don't like doing it one bit. The other option is to get a cherry picker anyway and get us up to the ridge and then tie our ropes off of that. So that's a super safe way of getting up to the ridge line and sort of rappelling down. So still walking on the roof and pressure washing it with a turbo nozzle and a lance, harnessed on to the rope from the cherry picker basket. That would be like a level up in terms of safety. Which reminds me, I need to book Kieran's iPath. That'd be useful. He doesn't necessarily need an iPath with me as an operator, so he can still use the cherry picker providing I'm there operating it for him. So he can still go up in it. He's still covered under my insurance to go up in it. Apparently, that's what the iPath guy said when we were getting our licenses. I was like, oh, why are we even here? I said to Jakey, I shouldn't have bothered booking yours. Hello, Smelty. Any chance I can come up with you and spend a day on a few jobs? I get this question quite a lot, mate. And at the minute, no, unfortunately. When I get my new unit, I might be inviting people to come down and spend the day with me, play with the equipment, play with my equipment, and ask as many questions as you like, and I can help you in any way that you see fit. I think taking you out on a job is potentially an insurance issue, and it kind of complicates things a little bit, and I don't want to take any chances. So nice and safe in the unit, bit of a training day, one-on-one. I think that would be better. So when I get the unit, I will let people know about that. Chimneys won't take a tug from the side. They are weak when you push and pull them. Yeah, that was definitely one of my thoughts as well. So I don't really know how else. I mean, I wonder how good these supports are. Could I wrap the rope around one of those and then send it up and over? I've got 30 meters of rope, so that should be plenty to get me all the way over. I just don't know if that's a good enough tie-off point. I was thinking exactly the same thing. The chimney isn't ideal. Yeah, I'm not sure. Evening, Steve. Welcome. Steve's just done a job with, I think, Exterior Essentials. I think that is it, or was it Mitch? It might have been Mitch actually. In the wood care chat. Yeah, it's Mitch. So Steve's been out with Mitch today. Had a great honour of working with and learning from the Soft Wood Sensei himself. Soft Wood. There's your before. There's your after. There he is. Our mate Steve. And then that's the treated. So all this green algae will eventually disappear when that biocide starts to take effect. And then Mitch's van broke down. So he got himself a beer. Pre-washed, stripped, cleaned, and a nice DDAC. Ollie is holding a 45-foot power pole for me, but happy if you want to borrow it, bud. Thank you. Thank you, Clive. I think the last thing I want to do is use a power pole at 45 feet, to be honest. But I appreciate the offer. Is Kieran new to the game? Yes. Yeah. He's Kieran is ex-RAF, and he's one of them guys that gets up at 5 AM to go to the gym 5 times a week, and he's like incredibly capable. He's been in loads of different management positions before as well, and so he's going to be my new team leader, which is so exciting. It's going to be a very cool year this year with the new unit, new team leader. Hopefully he's like decently trained up by the time Jakey goes in April. That'll put us in a good position then to start moving forward with plans. But it's going to be a good year. I might do the Smelt family video and make the video in reverse to see what happens when customers don't pay. Got my first jet wash of 2026 today. Only a small driveway, but good to get out and going again. The neighbours want theirs doing in a few weeks. Milton Keynes. Steve from Milton Keynes. Steve, congrats, mate. The inquiries have been flying in. I reckon today I've probably had about 7 or 8 inquiries, just various like gutter inquiries and roof cleans and repointing jobs and stuff. It's all just the social media stuff just collectively accumulating and snowballing into people are just starting to see my stuff, I think, which is cool. You'll soon need a crane, yeah. Evening, what do you make? What you do? What makes you most comfortable? And that's doing the job at the end of the day. It's you that's doing the job at the end of the day. Yes, thank you, LB Exterior. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm doing stuff safe, because people love calling me out on Facebook for the way we work and not being safe and stuff. But it's not intentional. It's I look at a job and I don't take these things for granted. When when we're climbing ladders and stuff, and when we're getting up on roofs and things, like it's not something that I take lightly, but I do what's practically reasonable. These people on Facebook will in an ideal world, of course, every single roof clean that you do would have full wraparound scaffolding on it, or you'd have a crane hanging from the sky that you can rappel down from. Like it's just not viable on most jobs. You'll price yourself out of the pool, and so if you go and quote a roof for 700 quid, but you tell the customer you're going to need another 700 quid's worth of scaffolding, you're not going to get the job. You're just not. Especially in a market where people don't understand how much roof cleaning costs in the first place. Most people are expecting their roof to be cleaned for like 300-400 quid, and when you give them a £900 quote, they think, what the hell? There's no way I'm paying that. And so to add all the access onto it as well, like you're lucky to get people to pay for a cherry picker or a scaffolding tower, like a mobile scaffolding tower. We're trying to stay competitive while also trying to stay safe, and it's difficult balancing the two. but we're trying. We're trying different things. We're not just... A lot of people, I think, in the industry have found something that kind of works, and they're just sort of, this is the way I'm going to do it, and they've become very tunnel visioned on okay, this is the way that works for me. So anyone that's doing it differently, they're probably doing it wrong. And it's just like, it's not the case. There's so many different ways to tackle, and because roofs are so different as well, every roof that you approach is going to be totally different from the last. It's there's so many different angles you can come at it from, and so we're just trying different things. We're trying stuff until I find something that really works for us, that makes me confident to be able to tackle every roof. You know what I mean? Not every roof, but your shows and videos have encouraged a lot of people to start jet washing, so well done. Well, thank you. I think other people in the industry might not be too pleased about that, but the original goal of this channel was taking you guys along for the ride. This is what I'm doing. I was miserable in a 9-to-5 job, which I didn't particularly like. I was bringing my work home with me. I was very upset most evenings, mainly with my boss, and just got to the point where I thought, like, I'm approaching 30 years old now. I need to start doing something for me. I've had all these different ideas my whole life. I've had all these different business ideas or product ideas, and anything I've tried, I've half-arsed it and not really put 110% in. So I thought, I'm almost 30, like, I need to figure this out and try something for real. And so I said to Soph, like, what do you think about pressure washing? I reckon I can start up for this much. I can earn about this much on each job, and I can do it on evenings or weekends, and I'll just do it. I'll do it solid for 12 months and just see where it gets me. And it's the best decision I ever made. It's transformed our lives. So the whole point in the channel was to sort of show people, like, if I can do it with a 9-to-5 job and a mortgage and a family, then I really believe anyone can do it. Even if it's not pressure washing, I think just starting your own business, not even with something you're passionate about, it doesn't matter if you're passionate about it. It just matters if you can make a profit, really. I didn't think I'd be passionate about pressure washing. I actually am. Like, I could genuinely say, like, I have immersed myself in this world, in this industry, and I do love it. I love the work. I don't necessarily love the people. I love the work. The industry is a bit of a weird place, full of, like, grumpy blokes with egos the size of trucks. And God, Facebook and TikTok and absolute cesspools of just opinionated keyboard warriors who want to see the world burn. They want to see everyone fail. But other than that, I love the job. I love the work. This is why I sort of post and ghost. I sort of put my stuff up and don't read the comments, because it's just like people just trying to tear you down constantly. But if you don't let that get to you, it's a great place to be. Gary, welcome. You're right, mate. I'm glad you're enjoying the videos, Stephen. I'm glad you find them inspiring. How much longer does it take filming the content on a job versus not filming it? I'd say probably it adds 20-30% onto the to the extent that, so the one that you saw, if you watched tonight's video, Kieran did most of that work and I spent most of my time filming and sending the drone up and stuff. Like, I said to him, this is how it's going to be now. You're going to be stood there grafting, thinking, I wish he'd bloody help me. And I said, that's how it's going to be, because my job now is to get the footage. Regardless of how the job's going, my job is to get the footage now, because that's why I hired you. I want someone to take the pressure off me a little bit, so that I can focus on getting behind the camera and getting the shots. And that's not to say Kieran won't get help. Like, he still will 100% get help, and I can't help myself but get involved. I think I'll probably end up getting another labourer to go out with Kieran once Kieran's fully trained. That makes sense to me. I think even on the gutter jobs, it's so nice to have an extra pair of hands, and I think it's worth it. Great news, we're at the show this year. Oh, Steve, you're at the expo. Nice, mate. I've made a mistake, guys. Me and Soph have accidentally booked our honeymoon on the same weekend as the cleaning expo. And so I can't go. I'm not going to make it, unfortunately. Totally my bad. I forgot to put it in the calendar, so when we were looking at dates and stuff, it didn't even occur to me. But I can't move it, and it's just one of them. Massively annoyed with myself, because I like to go there and film it and do all that and meet people and say hello and stuff, but not going to make it this year, unfortunately, which is very frustrating. The Ridge Pro, Craig, I did see these, but there seemed to be more of a American thing. I did notice that they're adjustable. Would you trust that? Honestly? Honest question, like I'm not sure on a profiled roof that I would trust that. I think this is an American product designed for those shingled, like the shingled, like these types of roofs. Very grippy, generally quite a shallow pitch, and I think they'd be great for these roofs. For a profiled tile with quite a steep pitch, I wouldn't really want to put my life in the hands of that thing personally. I have seen them before though. Thanks for sending the link. Why not use mobile anchors instead of just eye bolts? They are counterweights that stay on the ground. John, we did look at building a mobile anchor trolley. We did look at building one of these, and this is still definitely an option for us. It's a very good idea, and I didn't know they existed until recently, but this is also, yeah, 100% an option. I wouldn't buy one because they're extremely expensive. It's a very simple system by the looks of it. It's literally just a trolley with weights on it and a couple of eye bolts at the top. Yeah, we could quite easily make one of those. Maybe that's a job for the new unit when we get into the new unit and get the workbench and the welder all up and running and stuff. I've taken many a risk cleaning roofs, and time again I say I won't do that again, but one time could be the last time you ever do it. I need to have a look at myself as well. I have a family. Yes, Craig, I've been... sorry, Craig. We're jet washing. I forgot your name. Gary. God's sake, what's wrong with me? I'm tired. Gary, I've been in exactly the same position. I've thought, why have I done that? Like, this roof clean is not worth my life. And I think many of us have been in a similar position, but no one really posts about it on the internet because they know they'd get an onslaught of comments. The difference with me is I actually post the stuff we get up to, and I don't shy away from, you know, even if we made a mistake or even if we've done something that I probably would never do again. I'll still post it because I think it's interesting, and I think it's a true reflection of what we actually go through on a day-to-day basis, rather than just hiding behind, curating what we post and only posting the good stuff. I think too many people just post the good stuff. I don't think, like I've said it in a previous video, I think the way we do roof cleaning is not its final form. I think there's got to be there's still progress to be made with roof cleaning. I think there's got to be a better way. Scaffolding towers, I think, are crap. Extendable poles, like power poles, I don't think are ideal. They certainly work and they certainly do the job. I think there's still a lot of risk there, and they're incredibly difficult to use. Mupes, you can't get good access around most properties with a cherry picker or a scissor lift. There's got to be something we're missing. If anyone's got any ideas, I am curious to hear how other people would approach it. I really do like the idea of getting a cherry picker all the way to the top of the ridge and then rappelling down. You could like almost sit it on the ridge and then attach your ropes to that and harness and rappel down and clean the roof. But some people don't like you walking on the roof, even if you've got experience walking on a roof and you're not going to crack a tile. It's very easy. Like, a lot of these people say, oh, you can't walk on a roof, you'll destroy it, you'll crack the tiles or whatever. It's like, no, not if you've got experience walking on a roof. And of course you don't walk on those little biscuit clay tiles, and of course you don't walk on like man-made slate. Like, obvious, there's some roofs that are an obvious exception, but others, especially when you know where to stand on that particular tile, there are some breakpoints on certain tiles where they overlap. If you stand on the bottom right hand corner of a lot of tiles, you'll find that you get you can see them. Like, after you've washed a roof, you can see the most common areas where they'll crack. I sent you a WhatsApp this morning looking for some help. Would you be able to reply? Lee Morton. I don't see it, mate. I don't see it. Feel free to message me again. I might have missed it. Or feel free to join the Discord if you need some help. That's where I spend most of my time answering questions. So I don't really answer DMs anymore. I spend my time in our Discord channel talking to all my members. That's where you'll get the most help from me. Need to employ a scaffolder. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually. I think you really need to get proper training to be doing rope access. Conrad, feel free to link some rope access training that specializes in traversing roofs, because I haven't found anything yet. My friend Callum he's putting together a course actually with his he's like I'd probably call him a rope access specialist by now, and he's also he's running a course with another rope access specialist as well, and he's working on this course to try and get it like approved and accredited. And once that's done, I'll definitely be going on that. I'll probably bring in some of you guys along with me as well, because I think it'd be useful for some of us. Who would be interested? Is a good question. Just a show of hands, maybe put just say me in the chat. Who would be interested in a proper rope access course specifically designed around roof cleaning? Because I would. Like, who would be interested in attending that course? If I got the details for it and I got a couple of days in the calendar and I said, right, who wants to come? Not sure how much it's going to cost, but who would be interested in a course like that? Specifically designed for cleaning roofs via rope access, regardless of the property type. Having an arsenal of equipment or methods in your vocabulary, in your bag, in your trick bag, to be able to tackle any roof cleaning job via rope access. Spencer, I think it was about 400 quid, mate. Tied to the chimney is your best bet. Possibly not. Chimneys aren't designed, like Darren said earlier, chimneys aren't designed to be pulled around. Can I use the boosted images on Instagram? Yes, I would generally saying here's one we did today or here's one I did. I would use them as more sort of example images. When you start saying this is my work, it gets a bit ropey. You know what I mean? If anyone's curious, the boosted images are in the Discord here, free for any boosted member to use for their marketing, for their websites, their leaflets. Lots of really good high quality before and after photos. And yes, you can use them on your website, your Facebook, your Instagram posts, your leaflets, your Google ads, whatever it might be. Feel free. Just careful how you word it. Because if someone calls you out and says, I've seen that picture before, that's not your picture, then it's a little bit embarrassing. Hi Jay, got my full setup from Darren, GX390 with all the add-ons, setting up my website and socials at the moment. Nice. Oh, that's the same message. Awesome. I'm about to post a link to the Discord for portable anchor points. Have a look at the web address there. In the Discord. Where have you posted it? Oh. That was a while back. Am I that far behind? Am I half an hour behind? Portable water-filled anchor. Can be easily installed without the need to carry steel weights. Ooh, up to a 15-degree incline allowed. I don't understand. So is that a big mat? Is that a big water mat? I wish there were more. Pictures of that. Portable water-filled anchor. Water-filled anchor. Why aren't there more pictures? Water-filled fall arrest anchor. There's a video. There's an advert. I still haven't got YouTube Premium or whatever it is. Bladder system.
Marty Sharp with UltraSafe. Today we're going to introduce a new product.
13-year-old video.
Line. This is from the geniuses of Checkmate out of the United Kingdom. What it basically is a portable anchorage unit to be used on roofs. So people can go up and do their maintenance. It's good for one personnel. We're also going to show how on a horizontal system it can be used up to 2 people. It doesn't mar or damage the roof. After people are done doing their maintenance work, it can be put back into this nice carrying bag and moved on to the next job. This can be
So does it go on the roof or does it stay on the ground?
used up into a 15-degree slope. And here it is without water. And
15-degree slope isn't that much. Most of the roofs in the UK are like 30 degrees upwards.
in the next shot, we're going to show it with water. Now that we have the unit filled with water...
Oh, it's pretty beefy, isn't it?
top-
That's such a great idea, to be fair. The weight in that must be insane. Like how... I wonder how many litres that would be. £17. That's without water, isn't it?
options as far as, you know, what kind of fall protection scenario we can lay out. To assure that we have the proper amount of water in it, when we do fill it up, there's this relief vent. Water will shoot out when the thing is properly full, so that's going to let you know that you've got enough water in it. So now here's our first option. If it's a single man, we can hook a lanyard or, let's say, a retractable to the unit, and the man's ready to do his job. If he's near a leading edge, you know, we want to make sure that we use a retractable that's approved for those kind of drops going over a sharp edge, or approved for leading edge drops. This particular unit is approved for it, web or wire. Or we could use a shock absorbing lanyard. Again, you know, one that would be approved for that application. Something else, again, the geniuses of Checkmate have come up with is a horizontal system, pre-engineered. The working ladder hooked up and our horizontal lifeline system hooked up. We have several options. First of all, it is a 4-man temporary system.
Yeah, this doesn't look like you can use it sort of up and over. I mean, you could definitely use it up and over, but that doesn't sound like it's what it's designed for.
Checkmate to the line with
it sounds like you're already on a flat roof and you're sort of going towards the edge of the flat roof.
You know, especially if it's
like a lifeline system.
It makes it a lot. Now, it is metric. It's most people. Again, a lot of the advantages.
See, this is the thing about roof access stuff. It's never quite designed for what we need it for. Even this, like this mobile anchor, look, you're already up on a flat roof. You're not getting that on a pitched roof. I think this trolley is the best bet, really. And I think we could quite easily build something quite similar. So when are we getting 3 uploads a day like We Clean Property, or are you not capable of keeping up with the young'uns? Mate, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how those boys are uploading 3 reels a day. I don't know how they keep coming up with ideas. Are you stopping over for the training? No, I'm only down the road. I'm about 30-40 minutes away, so I'm just going to drive. There's my plans to cancel. I'm going to cancel my tickets to the expo. I wanted to meet you. The kids are crying now. How far behind am I? Pretty far behind. Have you seen the big wishbone things? Yeah, I think that's what you just linked me. Yeah. Yeah, Jakey's leaving, Luke. Did you not know? Yeah. 2 circus tent pins in the ground, around a meter deep, angled away from the house. You ever hammer or jackhammer? It's what they use on big shows for marquees. Oh, like a circus tent pin. And that could just go in the grass, couldn't it? Google thinks I mean something else. Circus tent pin. Ooh. How about something like that? I was thinking, how are you going to get that into the ground? But if you put a bar through that. If you stuck a bar through the top of that and spun it down into the grass, that would be a decent anchor, wouldn't it? You'd just have to get permission from the customer. Who thinks that's a good idea? That ain't going nowhere. I like the idea of that. Would it have to be all the way into the ground to be safe? Because what if you hit some like hardcore, or what if you hit something and you can't get it down like any further? That is a curious option. Never considered that before. Or are you thinking something like, oh, get off Temu, I don't want to be on Temu? Or are you thinking something like one of these, kind of like a chunky version of this that you hammer into the ground? God, that's a big one, isn't it? I enjoyed it with Mitch today. So cool to see someone enjoying the challenge. He will kip tonight. Never stopped all day. Is he a grafter? Just finished the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster and the Compound Effect. Great resources for those just starting. Matt, nice one, mate. Those are the two books that I didn't read them. I listened to them. Audiobooks on Audible. I think they were free on Audible on the free trial. Jake, where did you get your ladder standoff from? So that ladder standoff that I bought off Amazon was crap. It's so flimsy and weak and useless. It's just like thin, flexible aluminium. Like you put any weight, when I add it up, like it's designed to go up against a wall like this and around gutters and around the corners and stuff, which is fine. But we sometimes go up as high as resting them on the roof when we're clearing like awkward gutters. If it doesn't stand off far enough, some of the gutters are overhanging quite a lot, like the fascia or the soffit overhangs quite a lot, and so you'll end up leaning backwards over the gutter to try and get up, and I think that's quite unsafe. So I like to put it even further up and rest it on the roof instead. And as soon as you do that and you lean on the ladder, it bends. It starts to bend forward because this is just like super thin, flexible. I guess it's aluminium, but it's crap. Don't like it one bit. It's rubbish. So I got this one a while back, and I'm happier with this one. So this is how we like to use them sometimes, to get up and over the gutter, to get clearer access. And using it like this is really good. It doesn't work so well. To be fair, it does work on the wall. You can't put it on the soffit like you would one of the smaller ones, because it's just at a bit of a weird angle. The only thing with this one is it's a lot heavier. Very heavy compared to the other one. It adds a lot of weight onto the end of the ladder. And if you're going up quite high, it makes the ladder extremely top heavy. So that's just one thing to consider. But I definitely recommend this one over the other one. Hello, Steve. Jake's quit pressure washing and going back into full-time TikTok dancer. 100%, mate. You reckon a roof ladder, Steve? So, I'm not even sure about the roof ladder technique. We had I'm midway through editing a video where we've scraped a roof off of a roof ladder and harnessed onto the roof ladder. And it's not ideal, not particularly safe. Great for getting... The fact that you have to climb, like walk along the ridge to move the ladder over, to keep moving the ladder into a new position so that you can get up and down the roof. Like, I don't think that's safe either. We've tried it, and I could show you the footage, but I'll probably wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait. I'm not going to show you that just yet. But yeah, roof ladder up over the ridge and then like harness onto the roof ladder, like hook onto it with a lanyard. We've done it. It's quite awkward. I don't think it's the safest option, because if you slip, the chances of that ladder not flipping over and stuff, especially on a profiled roof where the ladder's not perfectly sat onto the tiles, like, I don't know if it's right. I don't know. If you could leave the ladder in one spot and it was secure to the roof and you could like rope off the top of the ladder and move around the roof, fine. But the fact that you have to keep moving the ladder along the roof makes it quite unsafe for me, personally. A couple of helicopters. We could try helicopters. Not a bad idea. Who'd be interested in rope? Say no more. I would join virtually if we could figure that out. Matt, I think it would probably have to be an in-person course, because you'd need to learn how to use your harness and how to use the lanyards and the ascenders and stuff. Time check. 8:45. Okay, yeah, I'm about 10 minutes behind. That's fine. Every week we hear, am I that far behind? Probably cheaper to buy a small dinghy and fill it with water. Oh, that's not a bad idea. They've got little hooks on them as well, dinghies have, haven't they? It's for flat roofs. Oh, okay. You could make a trolley with water barrel or ballast to save weight. Oh, Stripe. What a great idea. Oh my god, what a great idea. So instead of those weights stacked up, you have a tank. You have a water tank. And then you can just empty it when the job's done, so you can just lift it back into the van. What an incredible idea. That's brilliant. All you'd have to do then is you'd have a little trolley. I've got one of these little trolleys from B&Q. It's just like a sack truck. You'd have one of these. And you'd have an upright tank. Upright water tank. And it would have to be my weight plus, so I'm about 83 kilos plus like 20%. So what would be, let's chat GPT this. If I wanted to create an anchor for my rope and harness setup or roof cleaning, how much water, how much would it have to weigh to provide adequate fall protection? I weigh 83 kgs. I think it's like 83 plus 20%. I need to be very clear here. Using a freestanding weight as a full rest anchor for roof work is not safe. Can't help calculate safe weight for that, because in real world fall protection, weight alone is not a reliable solution. When you fall, the forces involved are far higher than your body weight. Your body weight doesn't matter much. In the fall, the force of the anchor can easily reach, that's roughly 1200 kilograms of force. In some cases, even higher, depending on the fall distance. It's not full prevention. It's not full protection. It's full arrest. Because you're not going to fall any further than. So I think the way I phrased it, it's thinking that I'm on the roof and I'm going to fall off the roof 5-6 meters, and then all the weight is going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be pulled all at once. Where actually I'm just trying to make sure that if I slip while the rope is going to be at tension, and then I slip, I need to find a way of calculating the minimum weight that needs to be to sort of catch a slip. Full protection is rated for dynamic load, not static body weight. UK standards, a proper anchor point should typically rated for 12 kilonewtons. Minimum for a single user fall or rest, often 15 kilonewtons. Is that kilonewtons? Am I saying that right? Kilonewtons, yeah. Anchors are structural anchor bolts into concrete, certified roof anchor points, steel beam clamps, deadweight anchor systems that weigh hundreds of kilos and are engineered specifically for roofs. So this is what I'm thinking, a deadweight anchor system. If you fall and your anchor shifts even slightly, the rope slack increases, shock load increases, failure likelihood multiplies. The liability becomes massive. A temporary deadweight roof anchor system, professionally designed. Okay, that's that's my idea out the window then. Often 250 to 400 kilograms. So if we consider a 250 upright water tank, that's the size of the buffer tank that was in my old van, which is probably too big. Probably too big to be... I mean, it's a great idea. Rubber base to prevent sliding. Tested to EN 795. Okay. A scaffold anchor, a ridge anchor over a pitched roof. Through a bolted anchor plate, a beam clamp on steel. Or full scaffold. Yeah, it means you're thinking about building something DIY. This is properly calling me out, isn't it? Okay. So that's not an option. The size of the tank would have to be ridiculous for it to be a viable option. And it would have to be like, yeah, have to have like a rubber base and... So how big are those ones then? ...25 kilograms has a safe weight working load of 250 kilograms. Okay. So that one's 250 kilograms. That was on the lower end of what ChatGPT just said. And that one doesn't have a rubber base. It's just got, well, I suppose it's got rubber feet, hasn't it? Is that, it conforms to BSEN 795. What is that? Standard on personal fall protection equipment. Oh, is that a course? Okay, rabbit hole, down we go. Maybe not a talking point for today necessarily, but something to look into. Steve says, on a residential property with gas mains and water pipes. Come on, you bloody idiot. Thanks, Steve. Are we talking about the screw that goes down into the grass? Yeah. I had considered that as well, but I mean, no need to say it like that, Steve. Can we not just have a constructive conversation rather than saying, come on? See, this is a sort of attitude that gets my back up a little bit about this industry. Like, what? Like, doesn't matter. Has anyone had any experience with graffiti removal? Me? No. No. Quite a lot of people on Facebook doing it though. I've seen some Pure Seal products, paint it on, jet wash it off. With a ground anchor, surely you can still fall off the side. What stops the rope slipping across the ridge? Generally, like the angle that the ground anchor's at. Like, unless you're pulling the slack and flicking it over to the side, I would imagine it's quite... Unless you're walking along the ridge to the point where you can walk off the end, I don't really see that would be much of an issue, but potentially. What's the topic of conversation? I mean, we're talking about roof access and roof cleaning and stuff, like safe ways of how to traverse a roof potentially, using a rope and a harness system. But hire 2 scaffolds that can just build you a tower on each roof. Problem solved. Yeah, problem solved if you've got the funds to hire 2 scaffolders. I'd be cautious about drilling into the ground. I work in the gas. I couldn't tell you how many I think I've hit a pipe. Phone calls come from DIYers poking about in the ground. Okay, fair enough. I'm aware of drilling those eye bolts into the brickwork and into concrete and stuff. There's specific testing equipment out there that clamps onto that eye bolt once you've drilled it and puts a certain amount of force on it. And if it can withstand that force, it's then safe to use as an anchor. But that testing equipment is extremely expensive, like thousands of pounds. So that would that's a bit of a hurdle for that method. That's my fault. I recommended the crap standoff. Don't worry, like it probably works for 90% of people, but for the way we use it, I just found it a bit cheap, personally. We generally use a normal ladder for most stuff, 90% of roof scrapes and a lot of pressure washing. Good angle, a few rungs above the gutter so you can get one arm through the ladder, then lean it with your chest. Set the ladder up so you have 2 rungs to stand on. Roof cleaning robots, says Husky. Yeah, I've seen some of the roof cleaning drones and stuff. I think they're fine for like America, where you can get away with just soft washing a roof because there's like no moss on it, it's just algae. But for the UK, we've got heavily covered moss roofs. I will be very surprised if they crack drone pressure washing. It's not there yet. It's not ready. You can certainly spray water with a drone, with like a big massive drone. You can spray water, but to effectively clean a roof, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. A My Tower will do 90% of the houses. A spider lift will get 99% of the houses. I think worrying too much about the 1% is just not worth the headache. Craig, that's not what we're doing, mate. We're not worrying about the 1%. What I'm saying is I don't like towers. I don't like setting up. I don't think they're particularly safe. I think they add a lot of extra time onto the job. I don't think it's an efficient way of cleaning a roof. Standing on a tower 6 or 7 meters away from the actual cleaning area, I don't think it's efficient. I don't think it's optimal. We're not talking about the 1% of roofs. I'm talking about all roofs. Could you not remove a tile right at the top of the roof, then eyebolt into the frame of the property, then use that as your anchor point? Yes, if the customer's happy with you removing a tile. I think you'd have to remove the ridge tile and potentially wrap around the main beam. But what happens if like you're pressure washing the roof, and so you're going to like on a rainy day as well, you're going to potentially get water down into the loft space. I don't know. If it's a dry ridge system, maybe. If it's a mortared in, I suppose it depends on what sort of tile it is. If you can quite easily remove a tile, and you wouldn't go on one of the battens, would you? You'd go on one of the main beams, whatever they're called, or just don't fall. That's a good idea, Craig. 150 litres will be perfect. 120 kilograms. 1 litre is 1 kilogram on average, or 120 litre tank. 20%. If you're falling from 6 meters, I'd want at least double my weight. The idea, yes, I don't think the idea is that you would fall from 6 meters though. It's to account for a slip. With an ascender or a descender on the rope, you're never going to get to the point unless you slip off the end of the roof. Even then, you're not falling 6 meters to a dead stop on the rope. The rope is always at tension. So you shouldn't ever have that issue if you're using it correctly. 200 litre tank with box section frame and an eye bolt to clip on could put on wheels if you wanted. I think that's not a bad option personally. Joshua says, hi, I'm a window cleaner, but I started pressure washing the last 6 months and I've already got 14 jobs booked in for March. Shall I continue window cleaning or concentrate just on the pressure washing? If you've already got a significant number of customers, and like, well done, by the way, well done for 1, running a successful window cleaning business, 2, upselling another service. You might not have even bought the equipment yet. I've started pressure washing the last 6 months. Oh, okay, so you have. You've already got 14 jobs booked up for March. That's really good. Congratulations on that. This is what I say to a lot of people. Even if you've not got the equipment yet, you can still book work in for March and say, look, I'm going to buy the equipment soon. Do you want to get booked in? You already trust me because I already clean your windows. I think it's a really good idea. I don't think there's any reason, like such early days, I don't think there's any reason to just focus on the pressure washing just yet, because there will still be those quiet months. So I would book, currently my advice would be to book the pressure washing in around your regular window cleaning work. And if you get to the point where you're still busy with pressure washing work out of season, then you might want to consider giving up the windows. But you've got to realise that pressure washing season is only really between March and about September. If you're getting jobs in between those months, then you're doing quite well. So you've got to have a plan B for winter, basically, is what I'm saying. If it's not gutters, if it's not window cleaning, then you need to sort of figure it out. Would you have toe anchor points on the ground that would be separate? I'm not sure what you mean. You could always use a fold-up water butt that holds 750 litres. A fold-up water butt that holds 750 litres? That seems like a big water butt. Oh, sorry, Steve. Sorry, Steve. It's hard to get an idea of tone when people are writing text. You know what I mean? Sorry. He needs a cuddle, Steve. He's feeling a bit feeble tonight. Daz, you're Daz is always poking fun at me as well. Having little pops at me here and there. I can handle it. I can take it. No, you're all good. You're all good, Steve. Don't worry. It was my fault. Jake's just hurt inside due to Sophie booking the honeymoon with the Discord money over the expo weekend. she didn't do it. It was a joint thing. We both decided. No, sorry, Steve. Sorry. I hate towers. I hate scaffolding towers. I think they're terrible. I think it's just a bad idea. I think building a scaffold tower. Imagine you've got an employee, right? Even if they're fully trained, even if they've got a not an iPath. What's the other one? What's the one for towers? It's not a PAL, is it? It's a tower license. What's it called? PASMA. Even if you're your young employee, your young labourer, even if he's gone out and got his PASMA and he's fully trained, are you honestly confident in sending him out on his own job with another labourer, for example, safely setting up a scaffolding tower in multiple different positions around the property? So you're not just setting it up once, you've got to then disassemble it, move it around to the back of the property, assemble it back up again, move it around to the side, assemble it back up. Are you happy with that employee, one, doing that on all different terrain types, all different surface types, and then using a 35-foot power pole from the top of it? I don't think it's a good idea. Your insurance might cover it, and the chap might be fully trained. I still don't think it's safe. You can mitigate all the risk that you want, but there's still. I think you're increasing risk by allowing that person to do that. I think you're taking a chance as an employer. Personally, that's my opinion. It depends where you're hiring from. We've had some amazing solid ones, but some are battered and a bit wobbly. Also bear in mind your pressure washer is no doubt coming from your window customers. Oh, yeah, that's another conversation. My Tower Plus is super solid and doesn't take long to build on my own. Yeah, but then you've got all the equipment that you've got to get up there. You've got the power pole that you've got to get up there. And it's all dirty and wet from all the moss. You're climbing up and down. The pressure washer's down on the ground, so you'd hope that they've got radios just in case something goes wrong. How are you lifting the equipment up and down? Are you accounting for that weight of the hose that's trying to pull you back down off the tower? That massive, thick, high-pressure hose coming from the bottom of your power pole? Like, it's just all these factors. Like, what if you do accidentally twist while you're using the turbo nozzle and it shoots off to the right? Yes, experience does count for a lot, but these are all things that can still go wrong. So yeah, I feel like if you're pushing roofs, then buying a good clean tower will be 1000% safer. Buying a new one or a Minter is the way to go. I still don't think the process is ideal, personally. Isn't the simple fix just to move the honeymoon? I don't think you can do that very easily with holidays. Like when you book the flights, you book the hotel. I don't think it's as simple as just moving it. I don't know. I can ask Soph if it's a possibility. I don't know. This idea, here we go. This idea is a bit far out there. You could extend it out and attach. Would fit your van. Google this mad automotive easy load van loading crane hoist system with powered trolley. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, I see what you're saying. This idea is a little bit far out there, isn't it? So this goes inside the van. Easy load crane inside the van. I mean, what's the difference with this Extend it out and attach. I don't think you'd need the whole thing. You could just literally attach. You could attach, you know, the strap points, the little strap eye bolts in the bottom of your floor in the van. You could just attach your rope to one of those. You wouldn't need this whole rig. It's a fun idea though. Not for $5,000, and not for the weight that it would add to the back of the van and the space that it would take up. Keep the ideas coming though. Need to be normalizing helmets for gutter cleaning. Also, vacuum nearly killed me by sucking a huge piece of concrete out and just missed my... Oh, mate. Or just get a roofer to take the tiles off the roof, then clean the tiles on the floor, then get the roofer to just pop them back up. Simple problem solved. I like that idea. That's the best idea yet. Can you shy away from doing roof cleans? Yeah, there is nothing really. This is another consideration that I've had, is just we stop offering roof cleans. That would almost be me quitting, which I'm not really a huge fan. I'm not a fan of the idea of just like giving up, because I haven't found safe enough method that I'm happy with. That would be me giving up, and I'm not sure, like, I could certainly just carry on and crack on regardless and offer all my other services. Financially I'd be absolutely fine. The business would be, you know, we'd still get paid. It wouldn't be a heavy hit on profits and stuff. Like, we'd just stop advertising it and we'd do more of the other stuff. So we could definitely do that, but I think I think we do a really good job. So the roof cleans that we have done, we've done a good job. They are very profitable. So, but like Craig says down there, like, you never need to clean a roof. We could just be doing repointing jobs. We could absolutely just be doing like repointing and sealing jobs and stuff, and even just standard pressure washing work, and we'd make similar money as we would on the roofs. But then you could get one big roof and it could make your whole month. But the same could be said for a big patio, to be fair. I don't know. I'd love to find a really good way of doing it, like a really good, reliable, replicable way of being able to do it over and over again, same sort of system on similar roofs, and just be safe. I think the cherry picker's the way, you know. I think getting a cherry picker up onto the ridge, it's super safe getting up and down. You're not climbing up ladders and traversing the roof just to get up onto it. You can position your ropes. You're tied onto a super secure, you know, you get your cherry picker up, you turn the engine off, hook on to the basket, because they've got hook points on the basket as well. And you just come down the roof that way. That could be the way, couldn't it? Most of the towers that people rent are not suitable for one-man assembly. Most are 2 or 3-man assembly to do safely. The My Tower is safe to build on your own if you follow the instructions. Yeah, I have noticed that as well. Some of the bigger, chunkier, like steel towers, yeah, there's no way you're building them on your own. Not safely, anyway. Seen lads in the Discord never cleaned a block paved driveway trying to set up for roof cleaning. Yeah, that's also an issue. I would recommend that anyone who intends on doing roof cleaning at any point, start off by doing ground surfaces, I'd say, for at least a year. I say it for sealing and I say it for roof cleaning. Do a year on ground surfaces, get to know and understand your equipment, get to understand drainage and water pressure and all your different nozzles and stuff before sending all that equipment up onto a roof. Like, it's just not worth it, not worth the risk. You aren't insured if you leave the basket. They're not meant for access egress. Is that true? Is that true, Steve? I know you used to work in insurance, so if anyone would know, it would be you. They aren't meant for access or egress. I'm sure we've spoke before about if you need to get up onto a high level flat roof, that the way to do that would be from a cherry picker. So you're never supposed to step out the basket. You're never ever supposed to step out of the basket of a cherry picker. Even if you're harnessed on, like tied on to something. A jetpack could work. That's a good idea. We were on a gutter job once and the guy refused to let us leave the basket. Imagine you get an old riot van with a water cannon on the roof. Can you... I'm not saying I don't believe you, Steve. I'm just Googling it for my own curiosity. Can you leave a cherry picker basket and still be insured? Leaving the basket while elevated is generally prohibited and can invalidate your insurance. It's considered a serious breach of safety regulations, breach of policy. You might still be insured with a rigorous risk assessment, emergency situations, correct procedures followed. Even if authorized, strict procedures must be followed, such as keeping the machine locked in place, using proper PPE, a harness, and having an operator remain in the basket. Okay. So you could potentially do it and still be covered, providing there's still an operator in the basket and provided you're harnessed up. I have used cherry pickers and used them for access for MFG company in Gloucester, and we left the basket all the time. Health and safety had no issues at all. I mean, Tintin, just because the health and safety people on site have no issues with you doing it, it doesn't necessarily mean you're insured to do it, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem to be a good way of doing this. It doesn't seem to be... there's never... Even when I think, like... How can you not get safer than that? How can you not get safer than getting a cherry picker from the ground, nice and safe, in the basket, taking your team up onto the ridge of the roof, harnessed, roped, strapped onto the cherry picker basket, and then walking down the roof and pressure washing it while nicely harnessed in? How can you not get safer than that? I'd say that's safer than working from a scaffold tower, personally. But it's still not enough. It's still not good enough. All the stuff that makes like logical sense to me is strictly prohibited. And then all the stuff that I look at and think, that don't seem very safe. I wouldn't have my employees doing that. It's common practice. I don't get it. There's a very easy and safe option. It's called scaffolding, but it totally blows the budget. You know this. You know you can't get scaffolding on most jobs. The customer just won't pay for it. It's because if you fall, then you might tip the center of gravity over. Yeah, I have seen those warnings when you stretch a little bit too far out and there's too much weight in the basket and it starts to beep. I have experienced that. It's telling you that the center of gravity is too far over. So you can't go any higher. Yeah, that's a valid point. Half of them are shaky to start with. They do wobble. They do definitely wobble, but I'd say they're much safer than scaffolding towers. Most of the rope access and powered access needs a rescue plan. If you slip or fall when hanging in your harness, you have minutes to live, so need to be rescued ASAP. Yeah, so always having like another operator either in the basket or on the ground would be ideal. Yeah. I don't mind a scissor lift, not keen on the others. I think scissor lifts, it's very rare that you can, one, get a scissor lift around most properties, and two, can't remember what my second point was. You can only use scissor lifts on like almost perfectly flat ground, in my experience. Most driveways have got a slight slope on them, and most patios won't take the weight of a scissor lift without like popping or cracking the slabs. There was a guy the other week, he did die. Did he die jumping out of one? He was alone and it broke down, so he tried to climb down and slipped. Was recently in the news. No way. If you're attached to the basket up on the roof, how is the guy going to rescue you? Can he not lower the basket? His family sued. The company was fined a huge amount. Elon Musk will create a human jetpack soon enough. What do people think of, you know, I know some people in the chat do this. Putting those roof ladders up over the ridge, harnessing onto the roof ladder. What's the general practice with these? Do you stay on the roof ladder? What's the point? What's the whole point of harnessing onto the ladder? Is that falls prevention? Because I know some people would recommend doing that. I don't know if that's... For me, that doesn't seem particularly safe. We have done it. I don't think it's a great idea. Are you harnessing onto the ladder? Are you still... With the lanyard, say you've got a 1.5 metre or 2 metre lanyard harnessed onto the ladder. Are you still walking around the roof? Or are you staying on the ladder? And if you're staying on the ladder, how are you moving that ladder around the roof? Are you climbing back down? I think even the process of getting that roof ladder up onto the roof is dangerous. I wouldn't have one of my staff members do it. I always do that bit myself. I just sit on the ladder and climb up to the ridge to move it. So you're sat over the ridge, like one leg either side, and then you're sort of picking it up and shimmying it along. Mine's quite heavy. I can't really do that very well. It looks dangerous when I'm doing it. How many tiles have you broke at this point? I remember cracking one. And it was just the corner of one, the bottom lower corner of one. But the roof was battered. There was cracks all over this roof. It's not as common as you think. If you don't know what you're doing when you're walking on a roof, if you don't know where to put your feet and like how to spread your weight, I don't think it's not as common as you think. I mean, I'm 83 kilograms, so maybe it's more common for bigger people. While you're tied onto the basket. What do you mean while you're tied onto the basket? If the guy in the basket is tied on and he's fallen and slipped and he's hanging, So you're saying what would be the rescue method? Yeah, you'd have to lower the... Surely you just lower the cherry picker until he touches solid ground. Safe and properly equals expensive. I don't see an expensive option. Oh, you mean scaffolding? But then you're just not competitive, are you? Safe and properly equals scaffolding, which means you're never going to land the job, so you might as well just give up. You have to seesaw it on the ridge to move the bottom end, and then move it to the top. Yeah, yeah. Could you have broken down? Then you can't. It could have broken down, then you can't move it. Yeah, fair enough. So you've fallen and it's broken down. Very unlucky. The ladder, I guess, if you're close enough. If a cherry picker don't work, if you can do. Husky, I don't know what you're saying there, mate. Sorry. Some rabbit hole for one job. Yeah, it's good to talk about though, isn't it? It's good to throw around these ideas. Because there's professionals in this chat that have been roof cleaning for years, and so I think it's a great place to sort of just bounce ideas around. A cage from a crane. I don't know. See the damage I did to my drone. So it's pretty scratched up anyway. The body hasn't suffered any noticeable damage. There's a few little scuffs, nothing crazy. You'll see in my latest video, if you haven't already watched it yet, I crash it about midway through the video, which is fun. Yeah, there's a couple of little scratches there, but the main problem areas are these rotors. Focusing on my face. These rotors are a little bit scratched up, but that's not the worst one. The worst one is this. Properly took a chunk out of that rotor. But luckily, these drones come with... They come with like loads of spare rotors. They know you're going to crash it. They know for a fact, because they send you all these. That's 2 extra sets of rotors, that is. Oh no, that's 1 extra set of rotors. So it's 4 rotors altogether. Which is very kind of them. Oh no, my mistake. There's another 2 in there. 6 sets. Which I think is great value. Is it a 249? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it says there. How are you finding this video quality, by the way? No one's commented on the new camera. Is it not that much of a difference? I suppose when I'm streaming, the bitrate probably isn't high enough for you to notice a considerable difference, but the autofocus, like there's the you can see the calluses on my hand. My old camera wouldn't have focused there because it was an action cam. Did I show you that one? The one that's like virtually in half. should replace all these now. Need an operator sticker on the drone. I know. I've got as far as getting my code through via email to do the test. Or to do the theory thing. Already said in the comments, but the video was next level production, so cool. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate you saying that. I've put a lot of effort into it. Tried some new things. Every part is replaceable from DJI. Nice. Good to know. Hiring a crane would be dearer than a new roof. Just take the standard easy jobs. It's not as easy as that. It's a good discussion, I agree. There's no ideal method. It's not as easy just taking certain jobs, because if you're advertising a service, what good reason have you got to turn down certain jobs just because you don't want to do them? I don't think that's a good enough reason. Like, I could definitely say, oh, sorry, I can't offer you a quote on this roof. But then when they come back and say why, like I've seen on your Facebook page, you do loads of roof cleans. Why can't you do mine? It's like, oh, it's too tricky. It's like the access isn't good enough. It's not going to be very easy for us. It's like, okay, but charge me for it. Like, I'll pay what I need to pay to get the roof cleaned. It's like, yeah, but we just don't want to do it. You haven't really got a good reason. I know what you're saying. We could be more selective, but what's the reason? What do you say to the customer? Scaffold is always going to be the safest method. I think most practical and affordable is a tower. Yeah. Thank you, Jed. Cheers, Craig. I've got Theo. You have the screen, or do you use your phone with the drone? No, I've got the little screen. Very useful. I don't want to have to use my phone. That's one of the reasons I got the camera, is because I don't want to have to keep using the phone. I want to be able to use my phone and the camera at the same time if needed, but yeah, grind to prime. When talking about cherry pickers breaking down, you can release the hydraulic pressure by turning the valve at the bottom of the picker. This lowers the boom. Yep, very true. We learned that on the IPAF day. The basket's over the roof. The guy's dangling to his death. Yeah. I mean, what are the odds of the guy dangling to his death and the cherry picker breaking down at the same time? Probably not very high. Any cheeky discount codes for Rutland Pumps, or is the affiliate link that can help you out? Went to visit them today, started my new van setup. Thank you for thinking of me. No discount codes yet. There's no particular link that you can go through that gives me any sort of kickback. No. Sorry. Apparently there are some discount codes to come, but I price jobs according to how much I want to do them. So a standard easy roof, normal price. Tricky one, I'll load the price. Yeah, you could just overprice it. You could even price in scaffolding for the nasty ones and just see if the customer goes for it. Can't do it due to safety issues. However, I can do a full scaffolding wrap in the build. Yeah, that's true. When is your measuring tool going to be back up and running, pal? The website, it's not, I'm afraid. I took it down. I don't really have any intention to put it back up, although I have had a lot of messages, so maybe I'll look into making a slightly better version and putting it back up at some point. But have all the roof tiles removed first, jet wash them on the ground. Yeah. This camera is streaming only at 1080p, blacks pixel a little on the back wall, but it's just low light. Will it let you stream in 4K? Yes, it will let me stream in 4K, but yeah, like you said, it's just it's very, very noisy in the background with such low light. I'm sure I could probably, let me see if I can increase. I mean, it's a horrible image, but does that add any more light to the situation? Who knows? An app would be killer. I'd pay. I'm sure others would. Yeah, we went down the app route. I spent a considerable amount of money trying to get an app developed, and then realised there was no unique selling point that set it apart from any other quoting or CRM type app that you can already find on the market. You can already set prices for your services and then charge by the meter or by the unit or whatever. So there was nothing differentiating it from anything else that was already out there. Tell the customer you don't have the required safety equipment for that roof. Lets them know that you're conscientious. Yep, true. Fantastic quality camera, that. Oh, hey Andy, how you been, mate? Been a while. I feel like I haven't seen your name for a while. Instead of cleaning the old ones, maybe just replace them with new ones. That's a fair point. That's what a roofer would say. Do we have anything else to discuss? Or can't believe I'm locked into your live. Chad. I love you, Chad. Do we have anything else to discuss? Has anyone got any questions? The canvassing challenge. I'm very sorry to the red team. I've not been incredibly active with regards to the canvassing challenge. However, what I will say is leaflet team, so leaflets only, they are smashing it with 1,800 leaflets delivered. These aren't doors knocked. These are just leaflets delivered. 4 bookings have come from 1,800 leaflets. Red team, this is my team, 171 leaflets, 171 doors knocked. 3 bookings, none of them mine. I don't think. No, none of them mine. Blue team is leading. I think, is Craig blue team? I think Craig might be on the blue team, and he does pretty well with it. So less doors knocked, but more bookings to be had. Yellow team, 5 leaflets delivered, no bookings. Green team, 14 leaflets. So, sorry, 14 doors knocked. Not particularly great progress, I'll be honest. Not particularly great. However, we've still got another 15 odd days in February to make a bigger dent. I could be doing more. I could definitely be doing more. If you want to submit some points, if you want to get on one of these teams, submit your points. You just click on that link there. You've got your own chat. You've got your own team chat. And then we've got a general chat for the canvassing. Look at Matt here, look. Is it too late to jump on this? I don't think so. You'd have to speak to Matt. I think we can figure out a way of balancing the teams. I've actually been too busy to be door knocking. I was going to use the same reasoning, but I didn't want to come up with any excuses. I've been very busy too. But if Matt's still around, I'm sure we can work out so that we can add a few more people to the team. If more people want to get involved with the canvassing challenge for February, for the latter part of Feb. Being a busy bee, finally took the full time plunge with cleaning. Nice, Andy. Well done. Congratulations. So, listen, I'm onto something. Take off the old ones. Craig, I love your punctuation. Your sentences read like absolute butter. So, listen, I'm onto something. Take off the old ones and put new ones on instead of cleaning them. Tell them it's got the protective coating on them, as a turbo would blast that off anyways. Not a bad idea. That pricing tool was handy. Out of curiosity, how would you price a house clean? I do new builds, messy brickwork, mainly mortar splashes. Leandros. I personally don't get involved with acid washing. It's an incredibly competitive business. It's one of those industries where I think you've got to know someone to get your foot in the door. So much red tape with regards to getting on site and working safely. And it seems to be a race to the bottom with regards to pricing. Some people are charging like £120 per plot to wash the entire externals of a house brickwork, including scraping the mortar snots off, pre-treating it with an acid wash, and then jet washing all the brickwork around the full perimeter of the property and the garage, and then rinsing off the slabs, rinsing off the tarmac on the driveway. 120 quid per plot. I would rather stay in bed, to be quite honest, personally. I'm sure if there's no harm in quoting it. There's no harm in, I can imagine, out of curiosity, what would you put? I'm sure you're already doing that type of work. And if you're able to charge more than that and still be competitive and still land the work over your competitors, then that's great. But I can't really help you with pricing on that, because in my experience, from what I've seen and from what I've spoken to other people in the industry, it seems to be more about who you know and less about what you know. Get in the leaflet team. Matt's been door knocking today, has he? 2 doors this week, 2 jobs. Was buzzing. Really? Grime to Prime. I'm sure you can jump on. You can jump in under the green team. There you go. It may not be too late, but very difficult to join in at that stage. No, I don't think so. If Matt's still around, like you killed him or something. No, I just mean if he's in the chat. He's always lurking. Matt's always lurking. Has anyone got any final thoughts or questions for me before I head off to bed? I'd be glad to try and answer your questions and do my best. If not, we can wrap this up. As I said before, if anyone wants to join the best exterior cleaning community on the internet, in my opinion, you should get yourself involved in the Discord. We talk about window cleaning, solar panels, gutter cleaning, roof cleaning, repointing, sealing, chemicals, health and safety, not so much, quoting, pricing, identifying. We talk about social media, marketing, all that sort of stuff. And it's a super friendly place. All these people are trying to help each other. Everyone's lovely. I don't think I've seen one altercation since we started this Discord group. And we're all in the same boat. We're all heading in the same direction. We're all trying to look at Liam's van after he come back from Thailand. I think he said 3 weeks or 5 weeks. Can't remember. That is gross. Get yourself joined down below. There should be a button saying join down below. And if you don't see that button, then you can go to my main YouTube channel and click on the description on the main channel, which is just here. Click that Apple memberships join link, and that should allow you to join up into the Discord. Thanks for your time, Jake. Tom, no worries, matey. Appreciate you hanging around and watching. Crazy that you guys actually watch this. Like, there was 80 odd people earlier watching me talk about bloody roof cleaning, which is just on a Monday night. What are you doing with your lives? Come on, have you not got anything better to do? I must have got very lucky. I priced by elevation and also a day work contract. £120 is diabolical. I was just wondering if pricing by the square meter was best. I think you're going to add a lot of work to your day if you're trying to go around and figure out square meterage on vertical surfaces and accounting for like windows and doors and garage. I think just having a set price per property type, so like a semi-detached, detached, how much extra for like a detached garage, for example, like having a set price for all those different buildings would be an easier way to price it personally. But difficult work, man. Why was Tintin's message deleted? I don't know. I didn't do it. No idea. Sorry. Would be interested to know why you don't use an airless sprayer on Thermaseal instead of rolling it. Surely time is money. We did try a sprayer. It wasn't an airless sprayer, but the Thermaseal is quite thick, and occasionally with Thermaseal you'll end up with chunks, little skin type chunks that form on the inside of the barrel, and they make their way into whatever you're rolling. Sometimes you'll see them on the roller, little chunks of skin, black skin, and if they find their way through the filter and into the end of your nozzle, your airless sprayer is going to block very often. It's very viscous, and so I'm not sure that it would be suitable for airless sprayer. And also going around the edges, you'd have to mask up everything around the edges. Imagine your customers just had brand new render, or they've got like a new white garage door or something. Going anywhere near that edge, regardless of how well you've masked it up, I think it's still going to get in places that you don't want it to get. And so time is money. I don't know if that time is better spent masking up first and then spraying the tarmac sealer down, or just cracking on and rolling it. I would love to find a better technique for the tarmac sealer, because everyone's before and after photos, including my own, you can see streaks unless you're able to get it wet on wet. And I think unless you've got a skinny driveway, a skinny long driveway, where the last bit you did is still wet, and you're putting more on and working backwards, wet on wet, it goes down really nice and it looks really good. But if you're doing the top left hand corner of the drive, moving to the right and then going back and then moving back, when you get to the left hand side of the drive again and you're overlapping the bit that you've just done in front of you, that's wet on dry, and you can see very distinct roller lines. And so I'm definitely looking for an alternative for that. I haven't found it yet, especially not with that product because it's so thick. I wonder if we used one of the thinner products, like a Thompson's one or something. You might get a better result there. Yeah. I need to get on board to the Discord. You do. You absolutely do. Jump in. Thank you for your live stream today, and have a good week. Thanks, Tintins. Where would you rather be? He deleted it himself. I didn't delete anything. Okay. I love the drama. What is it? What happened? I don't even know what happened. Red team have a 1.75% booking rate. Blue team have a 6.78% booking rate. There you go. I love percentages. We should, Matt, that's something we should add. A little can we add another bar to show the percentage? Me and Sid have a 485 square meter tarmac seal to do next month, so a quicker solution would be great. That's rough. See, the issue with a big job like that is, what if you don't get the weather? Once you start, you're sort of committed to getting it finished, and I don't think you're doing that. You're not sealing that in a day, are you? You're not doing 2 coats in a day. Most of our sealing jobs need at least 2 coats, like most of the time 3. You're not doing 485 square meters in a day. So once you've started, it's one of them. It's like, what if it rains in between visits and stuff? It's just, sealing's difficult, man. Sealing's tough. Anyways, my new favourite YouTuber not posted in a few days. How not to start a gutter cleaning business. Oh, I did watch No, I didn't watch his video. I saw his thumbnails. His thumbnails are good. They're very AI, but they are good. You asked what we were doing with our time today. I was on the way back from Manchester Airport. Today, M6 closed traffic through Stafford. Had crazy traffic home after the stream started. Nice. I mean, it's not nice. It's terrible, but appreciate the input and thanks for the videos. It's already helped. I have a sandstone patio to clean. If I use a surface cleaner, what setup would be safest? You can't really go wrong with sandstone, mate. If it's just like a normal Indian sandstone patio. Honed is slightly different, but like a normal Indian sandstone, you can hit it with 15-degree nozzles, 25-degree ideally. Very hard wearing. We generally do about 150 bar, 25-degree nozzles, and then lots of hypo, and they come up like brand new. I think the driveway sealer we use is similar to the stuff they use in America that they squeegee on. We just put it on much thinner. Oh, okay. It will be 4 visits. Okay. Big job. Maybe a strainer to get rid of the skin blobs. True. Yeah, I reckon the time it takes to mask up beforehand then spray would still be quicker than rolling. Graco spray is the industry standard. Lemur. Have you seen my video where I tried to spray Blackmagic onto a drive? This one here. Terrible idea. Airless sprayer. One of my best performing videos for a long time. We used an airless sprayer. It was a thin solvent based sealer. And we even had problems with that. It didn't go to plan. Didn't go very well. And it was very messy. Masking up was a nightmare. Didn't enjoy it one bit. It's given me a little bit of PTSD, so I can't imagine I'll be revisiting that idea anytime soon. Did you get the roof clean for your video? We did. Yeah, he's gone ahead with it, and he wants us to get booked in for March. So, trying to figure out the best way to approach it, really. I've quoted it. He's happy with the price and stuff. Just I'm trying to figure out the access. I don't know yet. Right, I'm going. Expensive but worth it, them sprayers. Graco, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week. Make it a really good one. Maybe try something different. If you're struggling at all, try something you haven't done before. And reach out for help if you need it. I'm always here. Mainly in the Discord. I think I was thinking about something the other day. I think men in general, I've been talking to a few people in the Discord and having some private conversations and stuff. And I think a lot of people are actually not scared, but that people blokes don't like asking for help. And I think in an industry where most people are working on their own, one-man bands, self-employed, small businesses, I think we should get into the habit of reaching out a little bit more and actually asking people for help, even if we might not need it. Getting a second opinion on stuff and building each other up rather than treating everyone else as competition. Maybe try and treat it as a potential relationship rather than a potential competitor. I'm not trying to plug the Discord, but the Discord has created many of those relationships, which I'm very proud of. I think it's a great community that's brought a lot of people together. And so, with that, I will leave you. If you haven't already, watch my new video. It came out tonight. I'm doing a little roof clean with my new employee, Kieran. Tried some new stuff with the video. I think it worked well. There's a whole stigma surrounding it. The world is more catered for helping women and children. We're men. We're stuck. We suck it up and get on with it according to most. Yep, very true. Thank you, everyone.